Hello and welcome. It is the date of the 15th of November 2020. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Okay, it's going to be Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about Theta, Bitcoin Cash. There's going to be a fork amongst such. So that'll be the crypto subjects, and then transition into daily fantasy sports. I'm going to talk about millionaire maker lineups. I'm going to give you my first one. Talk about fantasy sports, rewards, just getting raked back will be part of the subject as well, too. Again, all part of the risk reward. Understanding risk reward management, I think, is very, very important. So what can we say about Bitcoin daily term? Well, since October 8th, and the day after, for that matter, how much price action has been below the 18 average of lows, within the 18 average band, so above the lows, the average price of the lowest, average price of the highest, and how much of it has been above it? Well, it's pretty much all been above it. I mean, never below, and hardly anything within. There was a situation here on October the 16th, 17th, and 18th, where the price action hit the 18 average of highs. But it most certainly managed to support that area, have an amazing leg higher. Pretty much October the 18th all up to, and we'll say concluding the 21st. And then we can say two levels in which this corrected. Up to the 26th. This little sideways action of microscopic volatility, but sort of in an uptrend barely. And then a similar type of pattern here from October 27th up to, I got to go November 3rd, or even 2nd or 3rd. We're just a continuation of this, but a different rate of ascent and a bit better volatility. And then from November the 4th up to the 6th, a beautiful leg higher. And this is a new day. It's 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time that just happened. But of the 14th day. So now we have this situation come in where we resist this. And I'll make this a premiere video, so there'll be chat available live going on. But of course, this is me doing this at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put this up for 8 o'clock Eastern time. And thus, we can see breakout here. Just a small one, so continuation of the trend. A couple of days of going sideways, but still holding well. These decent numbers above 15,000. So most certainly a phenomenal run that has been moving on within the market. As far as a single hour term, we're going to see some price action below the 18 here, having some shorter term correctionary phases. But there hasn't been that much, and it's been doing a lot of nice rebounding. From, this low in here, you have this nice sudden fall, but it doesn't, when it gets to the 18 for the first time, what does it do? It doesn't resist much at the lows. It makes a quick move to the highs, and then it barely goes down, and this twice hit established support at barely under 15 or 14,945-ish support twice. And then it got out of the 18 average of highs at this point, and it was able to make two more legs higher. And then another quick move here, but unable to even come close to testing this low. I mean, it has a small bit below there, a small bit below there, small bit below there. As it was going sideways, unable to break out here at the 1800 stamp on 13th November. But we just had this recent fall from the 2-hour stamp on the 14th that came down to 5 a.m. Rallied to a spot where it came from. So former support became resistance, retested previous level. And now, after coming in here, the 18, just a couple of periods going sideways, has moved up enough to make the 18 flat. But from retracement mode from this low to this high, we've seen it now successfully hold and staying within this area for decent periods now above the 18 average of highs. And during this bull market, a lot of these things have been short and sweet moves. So this thing definitely on the short run has the potential to get going. As of 7 p.m. Eastern, it looks like it's good to go. Decent chance that we could possibly have a move higher. But I'd still like to see this thing do a bit more when you see a move like this. A lot of it is, if you want to get nitpicky, And it could go a little bit higher, but this established resistance of 16,157 area, I'd like to see strengthen a bit, where maybe we could hit it one or two more periods. I can 1 or 2 more hours later, maybe hit it, maybe come back down, maybe support area like 15,960 area or whatever, and then we can see a break. Oh, 16,200, and it's good to go. Stuff like that, as if I play any type of game myself that way. But I understand that a lot of people do, because this, as I call it, this is a game to me as far as the whole advantage gambling, finding ways of winning one way or another. And market trading to me is one form of doing such. And I'm going to be going over fantasy as well. But I'm always looking to have what's that of an edge, as they call it. And I do a very good job of it. And that's always just good to be aware of the situation more and more. And the more you are, the better it can be anyway. With that being said, let's move on to the next cryptocurrency. Actually, before we do that, let's just take a look. I mean, this has been just a beautiful run, the monthly. So to me, this is just an early parts of what could be a phenomenal break. So if you're starting to think, oh my goodness, this is up too much, to me, it's got to go up a long ways for me to see it's up too much. Maybe somewhere in the area right now of, when you start talking about, if it does it quick anyway, 55 to 60,000, 55 to around that of 60,000 would be me saying it would be up too much. And okay. And this is another reason to me saying, okay, this is a very scary level of resistance when we get to 20. Whether it works or not, I'll say I just would be a little cognizant or scared the fact that it's not going to be that well for resistance as it looks like we're now coming up to it. Let's transition now into Theta versus BTC. And within it, monthly chart, not much data, but we have enough here. Just a bunch of sideways move, even though we have no 18 average data here. We can pretty much see that it was, if there was a lines, it would have been a break above the highs here. That would have, obviously, like we can, let's go like this. It's just doing all of this. You're just hanging in there within the lows. Piercing below it, a lot of scare points. You can see maybe the September up to November 2019 that this thing, and I was hoping it would have, was going to go down to around this point because I was aggressively, I can't remember what number, I think it might have been, but it was definitely around 600 or 700 or something. I calculated, I'm like, okay, this is where it's like one of those things where you load the boat kind of deal. And what's so great about it is, if you wait to load the boat, it doesn't happen, you miss out. Well, I'm always the type of person that was like, maybe we should get a bit more here, and I'm so glad that I did, where even though it never went there, so many times for Theta, I'm like, oh, it looks like it's going to go down more, and it doesn't do it, which is another reason I'm bringing this video up, because I got this plan to talk a bit more on that in the daily chart. But as it is, this has been the best move. Like, this is the first move that comes up on a Binance. Okay, and then this November 30th. Okay, and then this little run here. You can see how fast this thing declined. 4 periods on the monthly, not only going back to where it came from, but just resisting where it's supported, and thus supporting a little lower. But this move here that came at May of last year, come back with 2 periods within the 18 highs after it with low volatility within the previous move, and then 2 very good up volatile moves, and now a very volatile down move followed by this one here. As it's now moving to the 18, it's already went through this line, and we can see it hasn't touched the one below, which is 3,426. That's my target number. And like I mentioned on the daily, I'm going to be very curious because this is now 6 consecutive weeks down in a row. But you expect there to be a level of retracement. It's went through the 18 average of lows. But to me, I want to see, as we've already had it, to succeed on this one here. So we have the 18 average of lows rising. It's at 2187. We should see it go up to like 24 even. I mean, generally speaking, that's 2150 is the must-hold area. And that's why I'm not too concerned that it's making a break below as it is. But within the daily chart, we see on the first one, there wasn't much support at all at 55.29. It comes down to it on day number 17 of October. It has a very small rally from that point on to the next day, and the key it's very small, and then it instantly rejects it over 2 days, having a clear break below it, piercing above previous support. However, resisting previous support perfectly almost, and then grinding its level here, not supporting fib, but resisting it, and then breaking below, resisting it again. So to me, after resisting it here, showing the 18 lows for like 3, 4, 5 days as it is. You have the breakdown on the 11th and 12th. It's been going a little bit sideways since then. I mean, I mean, I can break out at any point, but I mean, this low here, and I've changed the lines numbers from this move to match this high. But it was looking to me as if this thing should have been going below here, and it didn't do it. So I mean, this Theta is this going to be the coin that just likes to pierce less over and over? I mean, this is telling me this should go to 34.26 and probably even at that like 32 or a pierce below. And that's just what we'll see. Is this going to be support? Maybe it'll even come down later to 21.50. And there's nothing to say that it won't. Again, as I mentioned, that to me is the must hold area. And now that of Bitcoin Cash. There's a BCHN coming, Bitcoin Cash node, something like that. I don't like this. Whatever happens. What I've done, I don't like doing this, is I sent my BCH to Binance. I'll get the fork happening, today, the 15th. I'll get the BCHN. I mean, it's almost like one of them's going to be a winner, so you're safe if you have them both. Whichever wins, it'll be worth, and the other one will be worth 10% of the other coin, and you can just do whatever you want with the losing coin. I don't know. To me, Bitcoin Cash to me is a good coin, and it's one I think is going to make it. So I'm thinking myself, do I just take the free coins, sell the BCH, and of course, once I can bring them back to my hardware wallet, the BCH, I'm going to do that. Oh, I didn't like sending that much value, that much currency, if you will. Not the greatest of feeling, but I realized, oh my goodness, I could just take my free coin and I can do a lot with it. If I can maybe get 4 figures out of it, I don't know. If I can, I'll be happy that maybe I'll add a trade pair. Maybe I'll literally buy something with it. I don't know, but I normally don't have a lot of coins on the exchange, but for several hours or a few days, I already did it today. Like make the deposit. So that, but why isn't the coin moving too much here? And I mean, this has just been Bitcoin Cash for like quite some time. Not really doing too much, but I think it's going to be long term. It's one of the ones I hold, but like Bitcoin Cash, like Bitcoin, like Litecoin. Of course, I showed them Theta, Tezos. I got a bunch of other ones like Grossel Coin and DGB. That might be Ripple. A few other ones like that. Hedera, Hashgraph, and of course, gold and silver. Physical, you got to have that. I do anyway, and I do. Now let's transition into fantasy sports. DraftKings, of course, all bets, trades, risks. I mean, when you're playing a game like this is a pure gambling game. Okay, so just want to make it so that it's best viewable. We'll do it this way. And you understand your risk, understand your word. What do you want out of it? Just want entertainment value? Do you want to make this a profitable situation? Like I got a golf lineup in tomorrow. This is really, although I'm finding ways of winning at golf, I want to talk about that. But that's just complete rewards mainly, because you get rakebacks and do get a lot of cool stuff. There's CS:GO, that's 100% for such, but they say there's a meta strategy for it. That is pick 3 guys on one team, 2 guys on another. So that's a strategy that I'm going to go with. It's got 4 entries, 4 quarter lineups. I'm going to make like a new one. So I got one with Yekender in his captain. So let's try to find somebody else. And I'm going to have to go like this just so I can see the average of these players. So we can go ahead and maybe put in... let's go ahead and put Nico in at captain. So I want at least another G2er, so we'll put in that player. And then it says I got a 71.25 average. Who's good below that? So 5,800 is pretty good. So I mean, I'm just making this quick. 7,500 average. So I want to get G2 and C9 in maybe. There's a G2 player here. So a 68.50 average. What's 4,800? That's Jen. So I could have an 8,900 C9. Is there such a thing out there? There we go. There's a lineup. I'm just going to go like this again so you can see it a bit better. And I got this in 4 games, so I'm just going to give it half of it this way. It'll win first and second place, or fifth and sixth, or 410th and 411th, all that kind of deal. And there we have the CSGO lines done for that complete participation only. Soccer's not participation. I mean, in fact, I get no participation points for playing. 9 o'clock in the morning, so lineups will come at 8:30, and I'll put my lineups in. 595 entries going higher. I'm going to play 4 lineups, which means over 150 entries per line. Satellites, and what I call cash games, which is like what they call other people GPPs. If you're playing the Millionaire Maker, if you may put this lineup in, you put it in. I'd appreciate that you wouldn't, because I think there's an okay chance I'm going to stick with this one. More times than not, I don't, though. I'm going to have 4 different lineups. For an entries here, I mean, it says here, this is like the Millionaire Maker. I got like 18 or so tickets I can still play. So I'm just going to, after midnight, just for reward purposes, put my 4th in. But 12 quarter jukeboxes, so each one we get 3. And there's a whole bunch of these 4s in here for satellites and different things of the nature. But these are the games. Every satellite, for the most, not every satellite, but I mean, some I don't want to play. Like the EL leagues and stuff like that. But NBA, football, there's no golf anymore. So I'm just playing all of these types of games. It's not fun, but I have to do it anyway to filter them out. Like I literally have to, like, when I'm making my new lineups, literally click on like every other one. I mean, it would go like when you go to assign lineup, I would literally be like going like, yep. I mean, it's not going to be fun to do it, but you do what you have to do. And I have to do that if I want to play this way. But it's just cool because what I can do is I can be able to, if it does really well, it can win a lot of cool different ways. So my lineup is the following, and I like this lineup. I'm going to go with Kyle Murray. This guy is fantastic. And I mean, I remember playing the whole Madden games way back in the day. Seneca Wallace was my guy that I remember playing. This was going back like 15, 14 years ago in the franchise, like Madden 05 and stuff like that. And just run for like 800, 600, 700 yards and 9, 10, 12 touchdowns rushing, plus your passing yards. And so many more guys are doing it. But Kyler Murray is doing it fantastic. Paying the chalk, I guess, as you say, but I don't care. Now, what my strategy here with Mike Davis is, how highly owned is this guy going to be? For Mike Davis is McCaffrey's out, and he's got the very cheap $4,000 price tag. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about playing 3 of my 4 lineups to have Mike Davis. I don't know. Kyler Murray might get 2 of 4. I don't know how my other quarterbacks will be. I'm going to be spending Sunday morning watching videos and reading articles and stuff like that. But I like Mike Davis to get a lot of points. But the reason why you like to fade him is because if he's going to be on like 30, 40% or something, 50%, if he has a shitty game, oh man, that's fantastic for the people that don't hold him. And then that also gives you that chance. But if you draft somebody 30, 40, 50% and he goes off, well, you know, it's good, but you got work to do still. But yet if you get somebody lowly owned that goes off, that can really, really help. So that's the kind of thing about the ownership there. Now, James Robinson, I think, is just fantastic, and he's not that expensive overall at $6,600. So I'm going to be playing those 2 running backs as my main ones. I also like Aaron Jones for the Green Bay Packers as well. We also now got at 5,000, I think it is, Duke Johnson of the Houston Texans, who's going to probably get a lot more workload as well. Now, Samuel is guy you gotta give me. This is the thing, especially if you're not playing Davis, because he seems to be running the ball a lot as well. I gotta think this guy is a potent player. He's just getting points week in and week out. As I guess I'm using this at a different screen size. There we go. Let me just resize this so you can see what I'm looking at. 30 points, 21-17. Like, this is his last 4 games. You can see he's just in a major uptrend. So his average of the season is so inefficient. His price tag is only $4,900. And he looks like a nice guy too. But I mean, whatever on that. That's just miscellaneous meh. Although he does look like a nice guy. Anyway, points, numbers is what I care about. 11, 17, 21, 29 is what he's coming off of. He's a $4,900 cost. And I watched him last week. I was like, oh my goodness. But he had 3. Look at the running comps he's getting. I mean, he's running every week. 3 for 13, 3 for 23, and a touchdown. 1 for 5 and a touchdown. 4 for 28. So he's getting some carries. But he's also 9 for 9, 105 last week, 4 of 5, 31, 6 of 6. I mean, wow, this guy is fantastic for the catches. Only 1 incompletion to him, at least in the last 4 weeks. 6 plus 5 is 11, 15, 20 of 21. And then before Atlanta, 3 of 4, 4 of 4. I mean, 2 of 2. Since week 2, he just doesn't drop balls, it looks like. And you know what? I like him. And then Reynolds for the LA Rams. Let's just see his story. I mean, this guy is dropping balls maybe. 8 of 17 his last 2 weeks with a touchdown. $3,500 cost saver. I'm going to look to try to get better if I can. He's in there for now. Evan Ingram, I'm huge on. And I think he's going to be breaking out. 10.9, 12, 15.8. Yeah, I'm not. This guy is dropping balls too. I guess you could say he's 5 of 10 in each of his last 2 weeks, 6 of 9 the week before that. He did get a touchdown the last week. But Philadelphia to me is just a fantastic matchup that he's got to go up against. I really don't like taking. No, I was actually thinking Pittsburgh. So I was gonna say I don't like taking Pittsburgh receivers. And that's why I got Philly. I don't know why I was thinking that. But Fulgham, look at these points he's coming off of: 19, 12, 19, 34, 13. So this is. He seems to be the guy here. Now, I know the old blood Jeffrey's coming back. Yeah, what makes Jeffrey so damn good to say that Fulgham's going to be getting his workload taken away. And then right now, there's the chalk right now on defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But on defense, the one defense that I do like, that's really cheap, and I had them in, I'm probably going to have them in a few lineups, is the Los Angeles Rams playing against the Seattle Seahawks. Last week, I was watching the game. I watched that Seattle game last week. And with like minutes left, something like 18 times they mentioned that Russell Wilson got hit. Then I watched, okay, boom, there's 19. I don't know how many more it was, but the offensive line is just crap there, I guess you could say. I don't know, but even if they allow 30 plus points, I still think you get some points. The Rams defense averaging 7.3 on the season, and you're getting price savior at 2,200. So within my 4 lineups, it's almost a guarantee that I'm going to be putting the St. Louis, it's still been years. The Los Angeles Rams. And the first ever football game I watched in my life was the Los Angeles Rams. Maybe because it was their uniforms. But the first I can remember, I was watching with my dad in 1980 something, and I can just remember on the couch as a little kid, and I'm looking at those old Los Angeles Ram uniforms. I'm like, really? And I still have an image of watching those Los Angeles Rams probably on a Sunday afternoon. I'm guessing around 1982, 1981, 82, 83. I don't remember when. I know it was around that area. But I don't remember who won that game, who they were playing. I was just a little kid. However, to me, my strategy in playing this is to just get the best out of it. Like, I don't know. It's off season for me. I got a strategy that wins in hockey, and I'm going to stick with it. But until then, I'm going to do the best that I can amongst this. Last week in football, I had a small win. Week before that, I did fantastic with this. The reason why I got like 20 satellites almost is because I won 2 weeks ago, a whole bunch of them in the football game. I even won some golf ones, and golf is going on right now too. And I'm surviving golf some way, somehow. And that's interesting because I was watching a show on the Wager Talk channel, and one guy gave me his DraftKings lineup, and well, I made sure not to copy it, and I didn't. But I looked at my results to see if I was shared with a few people. Of my 11 lineups, that's how many I'm playing. I have like how many do I have? 5 or 6 that are common or not, or only mine. I mean, here's Dustin Johnson winning, but the one of them was shared by somebody else on the show who didn't give up the lineup. That's just weird. 67, it's winning 0 of 67, winning 0 of 66. What I'm playing, the Millionaire Maker plus all of these. Same thing like football, the dime times, just a whole bunch of these, and any satellites that I can find. So the total stakes is 300. So winning nothing here, that's 2 lineups. This one's winning 53, this one's winning 56. I mean, I got Dustin Johnson in there a few times. Not winning. This one's winning 55. This one's winning 34. This one's winning 85. This one's winning 58. And this one's winning 52. This one here is like NFL. I got to make new lines here. This is NFL Classic. And this is just, they have like weird rewards. If you get touchdown with every team, basically. And that's just all I'm using this for. So I played 20 lineups, 10 with, I still got to make lines basically because I didn't play anyone on Thursday. I did play the defense. I guess Mixon's ain't playing. I got to edit that out. But I did play the defense of the Colts and the Titans. Titans didn't score any points. Colts did. So I'm just going to get guys for teams that I need. There's like 8 teams I got to get touchdowns with. This MMA is getting crazy. And I didn't check last minute, I suppose. I guess I should have took Smoloka out, I guess. But everyone's just withdrawing like crazy. I don't know what to do with these lines. But I mean, not like, and this is literally participation. Bet $5 a day every week, and they give you enough rewards. That's really all it is about. And so I'm betting $5 every weekend on that. Madden Classic. I'm trying to figure out strategies on that, but I've been kind of, I don't know. Again, hockey's my game. Anyway, if you have any questions, of course, this is live, so hopefully I'm going to try to schedule it for 8 o'clock at 7:25 now. So I'm going to end the video now, so I should be able to try to schedule it for that point. Anyway, have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.